It might be saved, it might not. It's up, it's down, it's here, it's not. We're all speaking Mandarin. I don't know. So I'm operating as if it's going away. Hey, I'm Amanda, you're watching Girly Pop Go, and it's been a minute since I've filmed a video for Girly Pop Go like this. I have another update video coming to explain what's been going on with me and everything, but I really wanted to make this short little video talking about the TikTok ban, motorsport TikTok of it all, F1 TikTok and all of that. As I'm filming this, it is January 18th. And so there is supposedly tomorrow, the TikTok ban is going to go through. Biden saying it's not going to go through. Trump saying he's not going to ban it. Biden saying he's going to put it onto Trump. Trump's is the one that offered the ban in the first place in 2020. Trump might give it a, 90-day extension to sell. They don't want to sell, so who knows what's going to go on. I don't know. It just, we're kicking the can down the road, and I hate it, and I'm annoyed. And so as of right now, I am operating as if it's going to be banned tomorrow, and the app is going dark tomorrow. I downloaded all of my TikToks. It was 1,660 TikToks. Hi. It's January 19th at 10:13 in the morning. The app did go offline last night around 8:30 p.m. my time for about 12 hours. And then now this morning, because apparently Trump has agreed to sign an executive order on Monday, tomorrow, saying that he will give TikTok an extended time to find a buyer or that they need to sell 50% of TikTok to a U.S. company. I don't know, but TikTok has now reinstated the app. It's super buggy for a lot of users, but I have been able to post a video and things like that. So I think it's just a slow process. All in all, I hate this. Again, I think we're kicking the can down the road, and I think the platform is going to be in a precarious state for the next 6 months. Who knows? So I'm still putting this video out because I still feel this way. My thoughts and feelings in this video still stand. I'm probably going to start uploading a lot of my motorsport TikToks that never made it here to this channel for shorts. This channel just didn't exist while I was making a lot of these videos. So I have videos from Japan and Miami that I would love to re-upload here, so I have another place for them to exist. It's a bummer because for me, TikTok has never been one of my reliant platforms. I don't make a ton of money from TikTok because I've intentionally not tried to make a lot of money from TikTok. It would always be like a nice little bonus, and I do have to do the math, but I believe in its entirety, I probably made about $1,600 in total across like 4.5 years, 5 years. And that's just the reality of it. It was always my fun platform. And then it became my motorsport platform and funsies platform and things like that. And on TikTok and in general, I've always said, I'm a variety creator who just happens to have motorsport brain rot. I'm not a motorsport creator, but quite a few of my friends that I've met on TikTok, I've met through motorsports, or people that I've met in person. They're like, oh, I follow you on TikTok and things like that. I love F1 too and things like that. And so that's, I don't know, it's a bummer and it's sad. And I just want to talk about it because I got into motorsports not because of TikTok. I got into motorsports during lockdown because my friend was like, I'm sorry, my producer is digging a hole. What are you doing? My friend was like, you love fast sports, you like drama, you're gonna love F1. I need you to watch Drive to Survive. So I am a Drive to Survive fan, and I personally never got why that was such a bad fucking thing. But again, I don't feel bad about liking things or how I came to find something. I will say so much of F1 fandom on every platform, not even just TikTok, just repeats the sins of like 2014 stan Twitter. That's where I, sharpened my teeth and all that was back in those days as an elder Gen Z, and so it's fascinating to see the things repeat and things like that, like even rumor cycles and, drama and a bunch of stupid stuff would just repeat on every form of F1 social media. And I'm assuming that's a lot of like former, One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer girls moving over into that. A lot of former K-pop stans or current K-pop stans moving over into it. And so a lot of these things just repeat the gatekeeping elements of things where I was just like, okay. And like, maybe it's because I find community in a variety of different things. I usually don't like deep dive into one thing. Like though I've made friends in the motorsport space and things like that, I was never looking for validation as a fan from these spaces. And so the gatekeeping elements of the things, or like you're a Drive to Survive fan, I just never personally took that as an insult. Like I was just like, all right, and you're probably not fun at parties. Like what do you mean? I know who I am, and I know who I am as a fan, and I know if I like something that's my prerogative. It has nothing to do with anyone else. I started watching the sport, and I TikTok heard me and started giving me TikToks and things like that. And so like my love of the sport and my learning of the sport and the history of the sport grew because of TikTok. And so I'm not giving it credit, more so much of them like, you help foster the love and the support. Like F1 Academy, I found out about from TikTok, and not even from like other fans. I found out about it from Bianca Bustamante being shown up on my FYP. So many incredible women drivers in motorsport just being showed to me on TikTok. So many incredible drivers in general just being shown to me, and just different elements of the sport, you know, different cars and different series and things like that that I had never heard of prior to TikTok and things like that. And so this video is definitely going to be saying, you know, goodbye to F1 TikTok, but like this is a goodbye to motorsport TikTok for me, you know, across the board, because it's like, it really, you know, grew my love for so much of motorsports and things like that. And like I said, I've met a lot of amazing people. I found a lot of amazing content, people that I hang out with regularly that I've met through motorsport TikTok. And you know, there was a lot of things in motorsport TikTok. This is my I did not care for the Godfather moment of TikTok, F1 TikTok. So much of what would happen on motorsport TikTok gave me such bad deja vu, because I'm a full-time YouTuber, okay? I'm a variety creator. I celebrated 10 years of making videos, you know, last year, and full-time YouTuber now for 5 years. So frustrating to me to see things repeat themselves again and again, and for motorsport creators to think they were the first one to ever have to deal with this, or that this was some slight to them in particular, when this is just how the industry works. Like I would talk about certain things and like dramas and things that were going on in the motorsport space to my friends that were other creators but were not at all into motorsports, and I'd be like what do you think about this? And they're like, none of what you tell me about this space is normal. Like, all these people sound crazy. One thing in particular would be like a motorsport creator not understanding why they're getting ghosted or not being followed up with by a brand or a team or the like when they're a motorsport creator, but they're inviting this influencer or this massive creator who is not, or just a creator in general who is not a motorsport creator, and not understanding why that is. And they'd be like, oh, it's because they don't want this, or they want someone, or they're attributing a quality of them to it. When the reality of it, the situation is, if this team or this brand or this sport's goal is to grow, they're going to go with someone who has a larger audience that is probably not all sports related content, or even just not specifically motorsport related content, or even just F1 content. You have 20,000 followers, okay, which already across the board, small creator. That's how that works. There's a lot of like big creators in the space, I would say, that are all under 100K, which again, any amount of followers, great achievement, okay, but like in the grand scheme of the creator industry, that is a small number, okay? And I say this as someone who never got more than 50K on TikTok. One of the great things about motorsports that I've always said, especially with F1, is that they do a variety of creators. There are creators that I have seen that have, you know, 10K that get invited to things or have done activations. But a lot of them assume that like that means like, oh, I'm always going to be invited. And it's like, no, this is a one-time thing. Like, what are you going to do next? You know, what's your content? Like, let's grow your audience. Let's do X, Y, and Z. Let's diversify. Let's do YouTube. Trying to get TikTok creators to do YouTube in the motorsport space is like pulling teeth. And now, because the ban might be going through, a lot of them now are doing it. And I'm just like, I have been telling you. Part of why this channel existed, because I was like, I think the writing's on the wall. I think TikTok is going to go away, and I want a place to put my motorsport content, because the small entertainment audience doesn't care about this content for the most part. They like the reviews of events and things like that. There was way more content and yapping that I wanted to do about motorsports and like products I run to review and things like that. Like, this is just like car motorsport, swell entertainment. That's what this is. But you know what? I'm glad I did. This channel's monetized now, and this is my fun hobby channel. One thing that I would see so often is that like, oh, why did they invite her and not me? I know what I'm talking about and she doesn't. Hi, I am a creator that has been invited to a sporting event that I did not know anything about. But that being said, a lot of my content is me reviewing events that I don't know anything about going in to share the attendee experience. I was invited to a Chargers game by the Chargers. I was in their suite. I was on the field, had never been to an NFL game. I loved it. I had a great time. The team hospitality, everyone was great. And I learned so much about the sport just sitting there. The only other games I had been to was high school and college football games. And I had family that played football. That's it. The NFL is just personally never a sport that I really got into. And I'm, again, someone who likes in-person sports to begin with. I learned a lot. I got to share a lot. I did learn that most of my audience are not Chargers fans. A lot of my audience are Rams fans. So there was that. You've got a lot of creators or influencers that come to events that sure may not know the sport, but this is a chance to educate them and therefore their audience, and they can share the sport with their audience. And that is something that no one has seemingly ever said, that every single sport does this. Every single sport, every single event invites influencers to go. And yes, it would be great if they would, diversify the people that are going. For Vegas in particular, the amount of brands that brought people, and people assumed F1 was bringing them. F1's too busy for that shit. The argument that we see a lot, it's like, oh, this is setting women back. We're trying to be taken seriously. We're trying to, be seen as not just liking the sport for the driver's looks and things like that. And it's like, if a man doesn't respect you, he's never going to respect you. Misogyny is going to exist regardless of what the woman next to you does. What you need to learn is that other women are not your competition in any factor of life, whether that is for male attention, for a job, for, anything like that, aside from what you put on yourself. I am a whole person. I am a whole woman. Another woman doing well or getting an opportunity that I didn't get does not take away from what I can and cannot do. And that is something that I want to shake into some motorsport creators. And I really hope that this doesn't transition into other spaces, because it's been very prevalent on TikTok and it's frustrating. The amount of conversations that I've seen or been privy to about like, well, why did she get to do that? She only has X amount of followers. I don't get to do that and I have 10K more. No one gives a fuck. Maybe she sent a bajillion more emails than you did. A lot of who you know. And I'm not saying that that's like, people are doing anything nefarious or anything like that. It's like they just talk to people. I'm a big proponent. I say this in all of my Swell Entertainment videos. Talk to people at events. Talk to security guards. Talk to brand people. Don't just try and get like the photo and like just talk and have questions and be willing to learn. The other thing that I would see a lot is people keeping track of like, oh, she must be mad at me because she's not liking my videos. I would see that a lot. I see this in general, though, a lot on TikTok, across all creators, across small creators, I should say. Specifically, this is a small creator thing that I see a lot, and I know a lot of other creators that like share the sentiment with me. If you're not liking my videos or sharing my videos or commenting on my videos, you must not be supportive of me. Are they your target audience? Did you make the video for them? Can't rely on your friends to chase your dreams for you. That's not their jobs. They're there to love and support you. Like, I straight up had friends tell me to give up on YouTube 2 months before my channel took off. Like, if I had like they meant well. They were like, I really want you to like get like look at other jobs, like you can't be a barista forever, you need to do school, like things like that. And like that was fine. They meant well. But I knew I wanted to also do content, so I was making money as a barista while doing content, and then things took off and now it's paid off really well. But I couldn't have them be my motivation for me to do something. I had to do it myself. I had to find my own audience because I knew my audience was not them. I straight up started doing videos and commentary because my friends were tired of hearing me yap about social media stuff. Same thing goes with motorsports. Okay, my main YouTube channel doesn't want to hear me yap about motorsports. Cool, I'm gonna make this channel. And great, it's monetized. Great, we've got almost 7,000 subscribers at the time of me recording this. Do you make your own content? I have friends who are other creators who are genuinely concerned with how online I am. Why would I assume that even them as another creator is going to go and like and comment on all my content when I know they're not as online as I am? I don't know. It's just very weird. It's very cliquey, and it's very, I don't like that, so I'm hoping that changes. But again, I've met so many amazing creators, had so many great conversations with so many creators. And so I know I'm like sharing my frustrations with this space, but I'm sharing the frustrations with the space because I really hope it doesn't change and bleed over into other platforms, and, I hope people are like, oh, hey, I liked making this content, but I don't like how I did this or that, or, things like that. So I'm just like, make your content. For whatever reason, someone followed you because they like how you talk or do something or share something, okay? The amount of creators that I followed because they made a cool F1 related or motorsport related craft, and I was like, oh wait, that's so cool. Like that's how'd you learn to crochet like that? How did you do that? Like, that's so fun. I'm gonna miss the edits. I'm gonna miss the F1 edits probably more than anything. Like a really good edit, like that one trend where it was like my parents coming to the kitchen at like 2 a.m. and it's like you using a Max Verstappen edit to light your way. Those were really fun. I'm gonna miss those. A lot of good. This new season where we're gonna have so many rookies on the track and like so many shakeups. We're gonna miss all of the good F1 edits. of Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. Like, I'm devastating, truly. And it's like, one thing that I did see is a lot of people being like, is TikTok getting banned in the US going to affect F1 negatively? I saw this discussion happen a lot during the cease and desist situation, that whole thing as well. We could discuss that as well, I guess, with like one of my frustrations, because I'm gonna be honest, I lost a lot of respect for a lot of creators in that time, where I was just like, oh, you take everything personally, you're going very scorched earth. And then they just went back to normal, like nothing was wrong and they weren't upset. And I was just like, okay, what was the point of any of this? This sport that is celebrating 75 years this year, 75th anniversary of F1 this year. Sure, it had a boom in the US because of Drive to Survive and probably because of social media. But if you think that, like, there's a variety of things that contributed to that boom, and if you think that, you know, TikTok alone going away is going to handicap the sport, that's just not likely. I do think that there's a lot of industries that are going to suffer, and a lot of this is going to affect the US economy in a variety of different ways. Do I think this is going to tank F1 or other motorsports? I don't think so, or at least not as significantly as I think some US users are trying to say that it might. We don't know yet, you know? We also don't know if it's getting banned. This whole video could be redundant. Who knows? We're gonna see. But, you know, I wanted to make it because I wanted to yap, and I wanted to, you know, get some feelings out. If any motorsport creators from TikTok are watching this, hi. If you feel called out by what I said, look inwards. As far as building YouTube, I've always offered YouTube help, you know, or any, you know, discussion for, you know, working on motorsport creators coming over to YouTube. If you would like to discuss things with me, totally open to helping out and discussing things. I'm not going to make you a content plan, but like we can discuss and yap and chat if you want to hear any pointers and things like that. I'm not one of those people that, like, when someone passes away, I'm not one of those people where it's like they were only the good things and we can't acknowledge the bad things, because that's not how humans work. And so I don't think it's right for me to say, you know, goodbye F1 TikTok or goodbye motorsport TikTok without acknowledging like the failings of it in some instances. Like, there was quite a lot of running with rumors and treating rumors as facts on a regular basis. And then that just led to like the media cycle and the news cycle of F1 just becoming completely bastardized in a lot of the views of fans. It's a sad goodbye, but it's also, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging the failings of a fandom on a platform. One of the things that I really tried for over a year to get TikTokers over to YouTube is that there's quite a lot of guy creators on here that make motorsport content and F1 content specifically, and not a lot of women. And so but TikTok, I felt like there was a lot of women creators, and so I was like, come over to YouTube. Like, there's a lot of content that I have planned out that I'm excited to do. And like, again, I have an update video coming, so you'll know why that content hasn't been made yet, as we are 18 days into January. Subscribe if you want to see more Girly Pop Go content. If you are a motorsport creator, feel free to shoot me a DM somewhere. We got a full season ahead of us, and it's a new year. So I'm excited for what this year is to bring, even though January's been absolute dog water, just truly awful. So bad. You'll hear soon. And that's going to be it. Okay, bye.